Good morning, Internet. It's 8:49. We're heading out in a couple of minutes. Nicole's just finishing up her makeup. I'm ready, but I haven't eaten breakfast, so there's that. I don't know. I'm not feeling as bad as I was yesterday, but still not 100%. I don't know what it is with me. And like mornings or traveling, I enjoy the experience so much, but I feel like so gross sometimes. Not a fan. So today we're off to see the fabled editor of 3x3 magazine, Charles Hively, who's apparently terrifying. And then we're gonna see Ted and Betsy Lewin, and and then there's another illustrator that we're gonna go see, and I forget his name. So let's go.
I am wary of illustration to begin with. Let's say that I want to use you. I have to then sell it to somebody. I have to sell it to a client, or if I'm a junior art director, I have to sell it to the senior art director, or I have to sell it to the creative director, somehow. And in order to do that, it's a leap of faith, because I never really know what I'm going to get. With a photographer, basically as an art director, what I'm doing is I'm doing a comp. I high comp it. I'll probably go into Getty Images, get an image, put it on there, put some type on it, and present it to the client. The client knows what he's going to get, and then I'm going to hire the best photographer I can find to do that image. Totally different with illustration. To sell illustration from an art director's point of view, you have to basically convince the client or the creative director that this is the person who will do the best job for this client. And in order to do that, you're seeing rough sketches, you're not seeing a final. It's a very tough leap, and that's why a lot of art directors are shying away from using illustration. Not only for the other reasons that I mentioned, but even when you get down to the point of actually hiring somebody. And I think, the questions of how many sketches do you do, I think you do, a maximum of 3. There's a friend of mine, a very talented illustrator, a very successful illustrator, that when he gets a New York Times op-ed piece, he'll do 20 sketches. And for an art director, for me, that's confusing. I told him this, I said, it sounds like you don't know what you want to do. And his point was, I want to make sure they buy something. And I don't think that's a good way to go. I think 3 is probably the max that you need to do. And you have to expect some sort of collaboration, because that is your vision, and that's what we're buying. Sometimes we'll disagree with that vision. Sometimes we won't. We'll just go, yeah, that's right, that's right on. But I think that when they don't understand what you have to offer, it makes it very difficult for them to accept it, and it makes it very difficult for them to try to sell it. A long time ago, I did a corporate campaign for Conoco Chemicals. And the artist was Jean-Michel Talon from Paris. And what I had to show the client was, okay, well, he did this annual report for X, Y, and Z company. He did this Time magazine cover. So I built him up as this is the person that I would like to use to do this piece. And so when I talked to Jean-Michel's rep, because my French is terrible, he then communicated that to Talon. And what I did was I gave him the size of it was, I gave him the concept was, and that's all I gave him. He came back with paintings or watercolors about this big. And his point was that this was his vision, this is the way he saw the answer to that question. If I didn't think that was the answer to the question, or the client didn't think that was the answer to the question, he would be happy to do another one. And the reason that he was going to do that was because he knew the watercolor painting that he did, he could take and sell in a gallery for another $5,000, because there were $5,000 each for just the usage, and another $5,000 if you wanted to buy them. So that was, I think, a very good way to work with an art director. Is if you don't like the first one, I'll do another one. But you got to have that other source in order to be able to sell it to somebody. You have to have a gallery connection, or you have to be able to put it online and sell it, or something. So I think that makes the art director feel better. It also makes the client feel more at ease. And I think we only turned down one of the paintings. The client ended up buying the paintings, hanging them in the offices. He also made regular trips, at least twice a year, to Paris to buy more Talon's art. So it was an introduction that I made to somebody he'd never heard of. It ended up very well for the illustrator. And that brings up another point of how much is your
Because he says mine wasn't really tell. And he says, like, yours was free. So that's what I'm not quite sure.
I don't understand.
I'll ask Durwin. Durwin would know. It was good. It was all very good.
Good. But what did you think, Jory? It's kind of okay?
Yeah, he had really great advice, and I'm gonna work on things.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he was encouraging us to kill ourselves or not.
I know.
He said at the end there's not enough suicides amongst illustrators or something.
Did he
like that.
say that?
What?
I read that book. That's the currency book.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like how much people made.
Yeah.
And in Vancouver, there was only like 4 people that they actually like got back to them on it. And those 4 people made very, very little.
Really? Like what was it?
And it was all like there was more female illustrators than male illustrators.
Well, there's
They were
only
mostly
4, so.
between 25 years of age and 34 years of age. But those people were making about 20,000. And then when you got up to about 45 to 60, they made about 80.
Okay.
But it's very long. Very, very long.
And then I tried to like replicate it, like
And that's 2010 statistics.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
3 years ago. Things have changed.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I thought that his advice was good and that I kind of agreed with a lot of what he said. I mean, I really like all my pieces, but I did think that one piece was weak, but I thought I started out strong. I was really unsure about putting in that gouache piece, the Cafe du Sol with the girl and the gouache, and I was kind of like, I didn't know if I wanted to put that in or not, but I was kind of like, well, you know, it's a good piece and I really like it, so I'll throw it in. I'm still kind of unsure. Like some people are like, no, and he was kind of like, yeah. But I was really pleased that he liked my Lotus Eater piece, and I was like, oh my god, like he liked it. Yeah, oh my god. That was cool.
I realized that I need to think like an art director.
What?
Like I need to think like an art
Oh, yeah,
director.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
how, not only like in how I do my work, like how I put my work in, but how I do my work. And you know, it's not like what he was talking about, but you know, it's not just all about like the trending and what's good right now. Because I think that I've felt like that for so long. And I just need to kind of figure out who I am as an artist and what I like to do, and then it'll come from there.
Yeah, we're just standing around waiting for Guin and Durwin, and then we are off to
Hey Jory,
what
your dad printed off with mine?
No,
So cute. I was like, I don't have any blank on
We're
the
off
back.
to Ted and Betsy Lewin. We're in Ted and Betsy Lewin's house, and it's so freaking nice. And there's like us and we're hanging out. I think we're gonna have pizza for lunch.
Super nice. It's so nice.
I know.
People are nice.
I don't. It's so nice. Several million. Several. I don't know if it's 7 million, but 3. Yeah, at least 3. We're in Ted. We're in Ted's loft at the very top, and it's so pretty and like magical. So Murray Tinkleman is going to talk to us first, and then Ted and Betsy are going to talk to us. It's going to be really exciting. I think there's another professor here from the Pratt Institute who's going to give us a lecture on lighting, which is pretty cool.
Yes, it is Indian, and I knew that, and I made a mistake. Thank you. And I love the trees. They look like little lollipops, don't they? And also quite symmetrical, not exactly bisymmetrical, but close to symmetry. These birds are not really birds. In Pennsylvania Dutch world, they're called distal fakes. And again, making use of the symmetry, it's roughly symmetrical. You got this and this and this and this, this and this. They're kind of symmetrical, but not exactly symmetrical. And once again, very similar to devices that Maxwell Parrish would employ.
valid, I guess.
Decorative illustration?
Right.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, because not every illustration has to be deep and meaningful and philosophical or earth-changing. Otherwise, it would be a pretty dull world we live in, because you could extrapolate and move it into fashion and the way we adorn. And you're a great example, the way we adorn ourselves. No, I mean that for nothing more than how it relates to this. It's not functional, but it's aesthetic. It's done for aesthetic purposes. And I think, and I also think people see the world differently. We're all artists. We have that in common. We're alike, kind of. But when we experience New York, as you guys are, with a fresher eye than people like me, like 100 years old, and been living here all my life, you tend to take things for granted. And the artist or the child, either or, sees things with a fresher vision. And often that comes out. It's not an accident that kids' drawings could be put into this presentation and fit comfortably. And some of us never grow up, the lucky ones. I don't know, what the hell was your question? Was that a question?
Some old books, and I came across this book called Watching the Complete Book of Valentine Words that I did, I don't know, back in the 80s. And I came across this drawing of a knight that I had done who fainted, swooned over his, lost love or something. And so I looked up the drawings, and I found those two drawings. And then I thought, I'd like to do a story about a knight. It would be fun. And so I came up with the idea of Good Night Knight. And it's about a knight and his horse. This harks back to Cowgirl King Coco too, because it's a horse and the knight are, they're good friends. They talk to each other. And it's for the same series, so it's very, very simple text. Knight said good night, horse said good night, night. Horse went to sleep, knight went to sleep. And this is the way I do my black drawings on tracing paper. And sometimes I just I should put a castle in there so I can just tape it in there. These are just sketches. I'll refine some of them. Some of my drawings look like Frankenstein monsters. They're all taped up because if I don't like the horse's head, I'll take off his nose and put a new nose on or something. And Knight has a dream, go and find the golden cookies. And he wakes up the horse. And I heard you talking about what's the guy's name? That's just gone out of my head. Artist upstairs. I have this book. I have one of his books. Oh yeah, Andre Francois.
Okay.
So I love Andre Francois' drawings, and so some of the ideas, just like the gestures and everything, are inspired by Andre Francois. So he climbs on his horse, and they go looking.
People came once and said, you guys don't have a television. You're very, very intellectual people. I said,
That is really
You
fancy.
can repress it.
It doesn't work, but it's...
Yeah, it just looks like going up and down.
What happens when you repress it?
It just goes down.
Yeah, it goes down.
Oh, she get it down otherwise, right?
That's the whole show.
Do you want me to press it again?
Yeah, press it.
That's it?
Dun dun dun.
So do you still see
So it's actually, it's an apartment.
It just gets better.
And everything. But it's now a repository for everything you have room for upstairs.
Hey, if you got the space for it, you might as well.
His career in that, he was
So this side is mine, this side is Ted's.
he was about 45 years old. And he quit and retired and went to the company. And he just took it over.
That's incredible. Wow. Oh my.
Now it's becoming more and more filled up with stuff. And pretty
Yeah, I've got to
really
do all
moving it
these
in.
books now behind.
So pretty. Yes. 4-story brown home. Brownstone, brown, I don't know. Cat with wings. Okay. So we just finished with Ted and Betsy Lewin, and they were like the nicest freaking people ever. Sweetest. So now we are gonna go walk the Brooklyn Bridge, but we're waiting for the bus. It's really hot. We just hopped up onto the Brooklyn Bridge. It's pretty hot though. Glad I have water. Look at all this. Look at that. I'm pretty impressed. I freaking love suspension bridges. They are so cool and such marvels. And the strongest kind of bridge. Well, no, the arch is the strongest kind of bridge because the circle is the strongest shape. But these are still pretty cool. Oh, hey, look, it's the only footage we're ever gonna get of the Statue of Liberty. I don't even know if you can see it. Let me tell. I don't know why I have a terrible rap song stuck in my head, but I do. So they had an apple bottom jeans. Alright, so we made it off the Brooklyn Bridge. We're alive. I think that's pretty good. So we're waiting for Natalie to finish with her. Yeah. Yeah, so we're waiting for Natalie to get a dinges or a waffle. She's getting. And then we're gonna go find dinner because I'm starving. Okay, so we did the really cheap thing. We were looking in Chinatown for food, and then we were like, we couldn't find anything. Yeah, don't worry. I've done so many very unattractive things on camera. So we went and we have had Subway. Is it good?
It's gonna be delicious. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, I'm ready for this. Hey, so remember when I said I wasn't a great vlogger and sometimes I forget to film goodbyes? Yeah, well, that happened again. Anyway, but we had an awesome time hanging out at Betsy and Ted's. I think we arrived at something like 12:30 and we didn't leave until it was nearly 5. They're super sweet people if you ever get the chance to meet them, and their house is gorgeous. And we had such a great Thursday walking the Brooklyn Bridge and just seeing all these people. Oh, it was amazing. And it was really nice to just kind of end the day chilling out at Subway. Like, we were kind of looking for an actual restaurant, and we ended up at just, you know, eating somewhere that is down the street from where I live in real life. But I don't know, it was kind of nice just to chill. And especially because Friday was crazy action-packed. But I guess you'll just have to wait to find out. So we'll see you tomorrow. Bye!